Hello everyone, welcome to Learn DAX channel. My name is Desh, and if you have followed me until now in the end-to-end DAX project video series, then the next few videos are going to be really fun and interesting for you because up until now what we did was we had a product and sales table and we had a bunch of business problems which we converted into DAX queries to try and analyze them. But hey, what's the point of doing all that analysis if you're not going to use the best feature of Power BI, which is visualization? So what we had initially was simply rows and columns of product and sales data is now going to look something like this. So this is the dashboard that we are going to build by the end of this video series, in which you have all sort of metrics like you have the gross revenue, the total costs, the gross profit, the net profit, and based on this user selection, you are going to get the product analysis or the category analysis or the manufacturer analysis or the country analysis. And also you're going to get the repeated orders, or you can also choose which category you want to view at a time. So let's say I want to view variables, mobile, gaming, gadgets. So accordingly, my data is going to get filtered and the dashboard is going to look something like this. So if you are interested in creating a dashboard that looks like this, then please follow me in this video series and we are going to create something like this. But where do we start and how do we proceed with this? Well, that's what we're going to discuss in this particular video. So usually the way a dashboard starts is by first creating a mockup. So when I go to PowerPoint, initially, when I was trying to create a dashboard out of the data that we have, I had first built a mockup. So if you observe, I have a very rough idea of what all the metrics that I want to see in my dashboard and what should be the approximate placement of all those metrics. Like I want to see or I want to have a slicer panel at the left, which is going to include all sorts of selections like the date selection, the product ID, the product name, product category, and so on, and the list goes on. And besides that, I also wanted to have a breakdown of what's my gross revenue, then what's my total revenue, then what's my COGS, then what do I get in terms of my gross profit and my net profit. Now, once those are covered, I also want to see the trend in my sales in terms of given the months of data, 1 month of data, I want to see how is the sales being varied, on which day I'm getting the maximum sales, on which day I'm getting the least amount of sales. So that's something that I can view with this trend. Now I have a couple of tables that we have built in, I think, our last videos, in which we created a repeated orders table and a product analysis table, which gives us a deep insight into the orders which were repeated. So I know the products which are being frequently purchased, as also I am getting a detailed analysis of that particular product. Now, I also wanted to have an idea about which is my top performing country or top performing region or the payment method which is being frequently used. So, in order to do that, I have decided to use something like a donut chart so that I get the split in terms of a donut about which country is doing what number in sales, so I can visually be able to consume that information quite easily. So this is the basic mockup that we have. And in order to have a good background, I have created a background in PowerPoint. I'll share the JPEG image of that file in the description so you can use the same background. So let's start with building basic visuals using this mockup. So I open my Power BI, and like I said, I'm going to use a background that I have created, which I'll share with you in the description. So I'll just use that image that I have. So I'll open this. So now you see that it's blank. Well, it's not blank. The reason is because the transparency is 100%. So if I reduce the transparency, so let's say 43%, or we can make it maybe 35. Does this look nice? Yeah, let's keep it 35 for now. And I'll just change the image fit to fill so that it is able to fill in the complete visual. Or I think it's fit. Yeah, fill is not going to use the complete space, but I think it should be fit. Yeah, now it's kind of covering the whole visual canvas. So now let's go back to our mockup and let's try and pull one thing at a time. So we have the gross revenue, total revenue. So I'll quickly pull gross revenue and let me convert that into a card. So right now you don't need to worry about the formatting. All we're going to do is just pull all those visuals on this canvas, and then in the next video we'll work with the formatting. So for now we are just going to pull all the things that we have in the mockup as it is on this canvas, and the next video we'll do the formatting. So what else do I have? I have the total revenue. Total revenue. So I will just, I'll change this to a card. And one hack that you can use is, instead of always pulling some value and then converting into a card, you just create a copy of that. And now instead of revenue, I'm going to use COGS here. So I have COGS, I'll place it here. So it gives me total COGS. Then I want gross profit. So I'll go back, I'll copy and paste this and convert it into gross profit. And now I need the net profit. So again, I'll copy, paste. The most useful tool is copy paste. And you have the net profit. So we are done with this part. The next thing we want are slicers. So what all slicers do we need? Date, product ID, product name, product category. So let's pull them one by one. I want date. So I'll use the order date again, and I'll convert that into a slicer. But I don't want the date hierarchy. I'll simply want the date. So I'll change the setting here from order date to date hierarchy. And the slicer is right now giving me a list, but I want to drop down. So I'll change the setting to drop down. So I have the order date. What else do I have? I have the product ID, product name, and product category. So all three metrics related to product. So again, I'll copy and paste. So I have the then product ID. Where do I have the product ID? Here. Now I'll remove this. Again, I'll copy and paste. I'll call it product name. Then I believe I have the product category. So again, copy paste, product category. And now we have manufacturer, country, region, and payment method. So I'll pull them one by one. I have manufacturer, then I have country, then I have the region, and the payment method. So now we have pulled all the slices. Now the other things that we want is, we want a trend chart in which we have the sales by date, in which sales is on y-axis and date is on x-axis. So I will pull one line chart. I will have my order date on the x-axis. So this comes from the sales table. I'll simply mention order date, and we'll have sales. Sales, I will use the sales amount from the sales table. Where do I have the sales amount? Here. So this gives me a trend of the sales. So we also have this. Now the next thing that we want is the donut sales by country, donut sales chart by region, and payment method. So again, I'll just pull out a donut chart, and we want the sales amount. So the sales amount will go in legend, or the values. Yeah. And my legend is going to be, in first case I have the country, then I have the region, and then I have the payment method. So first is country. So this one is done. Let me clear this filter. Now I want region here, so I'll remove this country and instead I'll paste region. And the third one I want is payment method. So again, I'll copy and paste and I'll write payment method. So we have pulled almost all the visuals except for two. The first is repeated orders and the second is product analysis. So let's create a new page, or should we add some more spacing in this page? Yeah, I think we can change the width and height of this page. Let's change the height to something like 1000 and width can remain the same because for now width is not being an issue for me, but the height definitely is because I still want two tables. So I'll just put everything aside so that I can make some space for the two tables, which are the repeated orders and my product analysis. So I will, I already have created the repeated orders table in my last video of the end-to-end DAX project video series. So all I'm going to do is pull a table visual and then just one by one pull everything at once. So first I need the customer ID, then I need the product ID, then I need the order ID, the order dates, product name, sales amount, and total sales amount. We can verify later the order in which we want this data. So for now, all we are interested in is to just populate this, having all those visuals in place. So this part is done as well. Now I just need one more table, which is the product analysis table. So again, I will pull out a new table. And so one thing that will be interesting for you to note here is even though I've created a product analysis table, I'm not going to use my product analysis table that I've created. Instead, I'm going to fetch each and every column from the product and sales table. So let me go to the product analysis table. So what all do we need? Average sales, cost of goods sold. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need all these 12 parameters in this. So since I don't want to waste time in this video, I will just pull 3 or 4 values and then we can continue in the next video where you'll see all the columns being populated and then we'll work on the formatting part and the placement part so that we can eventually see how our dashboard should look something like this. So for now, I'm just going to pull some values like product ID. I have the product ID in the products table. Yeah, I have the product ID here. Then what else do I need? I need the total sales, which is the sales amount. So I can get that from the sales table. I'll type sales. So the sales amount. Then I want the total COGS. I also want the net profit. I'm just taking the values as many as I can remember from this analysis, but you'll find in the next video that the table is populated with all the necessary columns. So yeah, this is the brief overview of what we are going to do in the first video. We had our mockup and we have pulled everything on this particular visual or the canvas. In the next video, we'll start working on the formatting and I hope to see you in the next video. If you found any value or if you're interested or if you have enjoyed watching my content until now, please share it with your friends. And until then, I hope to see you soon in the next video. Until then, happy learning and thanks for watching.